Streetlifting is on the rise, and one of the elements in this style of weightlifting is the weighted dip. In this video, I'll explain what a competition dip is, what the rulebooks say, and what a high performance dip looks like when taking these rules into account. So stay tuned if you want to learn the markers to hit and the technique you should implement into your workouts if you want to hit big numbers without sacrificing your shoulders. In the streetlifting scene, two organizations stand out, ISF and Final Rep. As it stands, the best athletes in the world compete in Final Rep, so let's start here when explaining the weighted dip. The first step is the starting position. This is considered to be taken as soon as the athlete has fully extended the elbows and is in free support. So this is pretty basic and would look something like this. Next, the athlete gets a go signal from the judges, and then the arms must bend till the highest point of the rear delt is below the highest point of the elbow. The highest point of the rear delt is when standing, and this refers to the point where the trapezius muscle meets the deltoid muscle near the top of the shoulder. This is clever because this way the difference in muscle size doesn't impact the judging of the dip. Let's take a look at my own dip to illustrate what this looks like. In this clip, I'm doing my current heaviest single with 110 kilograms. And now let's zoom in and look for the markers. Here we have the line of the rear delt, which must be below the highest point of the elbow, and it is. So this is how you hit arm depth in a competition dip. But that's not all. There is another marker to hit as well. The highest point from the bottom of the belt must be at least level with the highest point of the bar rails. This makes sense because Final Rep issues the same belt to every competitor. Before this rule, the criteria was hips below the top of the bar. These rules make sure that people don't just curl into a ball and then straighten out. The hips must move downwards. This is a photo with the competition belt. First we have the top of the bar, and next we have the belt marker. So this is a good rep. Now let's take it over to my own attempt again. First we have the top of the bar, then the bottom of the belt. This is a different belt, so most commonly the hips are used as the bottom marker. Some competitions, such as the King of Weighted Showdown, have also used the wrists as the top marker. But all you need to worry about when training for the competition dip are these two. Other things I find worth mentioning is the disallowance of a kipping motion in the pelvis or with the legs. This also means that a fast upwards going motion with the head is allowed. And if the arms are first going up, then they can go down a little bit and then continue the motion upwards. In my opinion, this is what you need to know from a technical standpoint. Some notable differences in the ISF rulebook are that the top position includes the pressed shoulders, and the biggest difference, the depth needs only to be parallel with the humerus like illustrated. And a final, really interesting thing is the ISF's take on how to make sure that people hit hip depth. According to these rules, the shoulders must never go down faster than the pelvis, which means that the hips needs to descend at the same rate of the shoulders. I'm not sure how this is judged as this isn't a rule, but very interesting. So before moving on to showing the best way to perform this kind of dip, here are the technical markers put together. And if we look at some of the best dips in the world, like Tonio Set's world record 190 kg, or Matthew Slat's 190 kg, or maybe Petticol's 170 kg dip, and a lot of other top tier dippers, a few things begin to stand out. First, all the best dippers have protracted shoulder blades. This is also why this kind of dip might look so different and feel so different from what some of you are used to. Also, the chest is closed. Some people keep the chest closed and others switch to a bit of an arch in the concentric to gain some momentum. People also utilize the forward lean to hit the required depth, done with a tight core and with legs vertically beneath them. This decreases the shoulder angle and minimizes the risk of injury. This form allows you to lift the heaviest amount of weight safely and according to competition rules. That was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully learned something new.